Sir, do you not have an acknowledgements page? Are you kidding me? I'm not a fan of multi-POV. We have walls. This book's going to take me forever. This is reminding me of something and I don't know what. As I'm sure I kind of told you about in the introduction, we're here to do the book treasure hunt, book scavenger hunt. I don't quite know what this tag is called, but it is originally created by Books and Lala. And I've actually attempted to do this challenge before, but this was before I had my camera and I had my current microphone, so something with the audio went wrong. And so this is my second go at it. Fingers crossed, everything's fine this time. How the challenge works is that I have a list of questions here on my phone that are going to have me dashing around this library trying to find something that fits, and hopefully we end up with a book that we're going to read. And I'm gonna try to give myself an extra challenge in that I'm going to try to get a book on my 24 for 2024 challenge because I need to read more of those. Let's see if we can do it, and let's go ahead and go. Okay, so the very first question is to grab my favorite book and then to go to the acknowledgements, and the first name I see, I have to find an author by that same name. We're gonna try. The easy one would just be go to here because this is my favorite shelf, right? So like, why not start here? Okay, who's gonna have someone with really common names? Let's try, and we're gonna go ahead and try Sam Sykes, Seven Blades in Black. Love this book, love the series. I'm hoping Sam Sykes has some common names in his acknowledgements. Let's see, is it in the back? It is. Okay, guns. Danny Bearer. Okay, that's the first name. I don't think I have any Dannys. I don't think I do, but you know what I do have? I have a catalog on my phone. So we're gonna look up Dannys. I have 0 Dannys, so that was a dud. A common name though, so we're at least on the right track. Let's try another book, another author to see if we can get this ball going. Let's try TJ Klune. I have Wolf Song here, and I'm hoping TJ Klune knows some very common name folk. Is your acknowledgements in the back? Sir, do you not have an acknowledgements page? Are you kidding me? This man doesn't have an acknowledgements in this. Okay, fine. Let's try House of Cerulean Sea to see if he has an acknowledgements here. Okay, here's one. First name I see is Lynn. I have a Lynn. I have a Lynn at least in a middle name. Who is it? Who's the Lynn? Oh, who is it? I think is it the Inheritance game? Does she have a Lynn in her name? Yep. Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Okay, so what the hell's the next question? Okay, so I got the Lynn. So next question is go to page 50, line 5, and pick a word from that line and try to find a title with that word. Page 50, line 5. Okay, so the line is, aren't you going to invite me in? Grayson wasn't the heir, and then I'll finish the sentence, anymore, but you wouldn't have known it from his tone. Okay, heir. That's easy. That's super duper easy. There's a million books with the word heir in it, but the one that comes to mind is actually, it's over here. Let me go grab it. Immediately popped in my head, Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I just reread this because my friend's reading it, so this is top of my head. Now I have to find a 5-star read that has the same colors on the cover as this, so green. A 5-star read. This one might be tough. Well, the Adventure Zones. None of them have green. Oh, you know, TJ Klune coming back in. I gave Wolf Song 5 stars when I first read it, and they are both green covers. Excellent. Going to put that one down to the side. And the next question for the hunt is find a book with the same number of pages. Oh no. I'm gonna give myself a bit of a leeway with this. I'm gonna say within 10 to 15 pages, okay? Because find exact pages is awful. Yeah, this is a quite chunky book. Same number of pages, so within the 10 to 15 range, which is still quite small, all things considered. We're not gonna count the Raven Song entry. We're gonna just focus on the actual story, which is 554 pages. Something that is 554 pages. You, not you, not you. Definitely not you. Is Illuminae 500 pages? 599. Nope. On the right track. Thing that's long, but not too long. Maybe Bloodmarked? Bloodmarked? Is this 500? 560. What the hell did I say again? 550 something? I already forgot. How could I already forget? 554. That's 6 pages, baby. 561. Hopefully I don't have anything that hard again. Find number of pages. Flip open to any page. First name you see. Find a book with an author who shares that name. Shit. This is gonna be a hard one because there's like old British Gaelic names because we have the King Arthur legend. Ugh, this is gonna be bad. Okay, so we're gonna open to a random page, and first name I point to is on the word control. That doesn't really help. Actual words on the page this time. First sentence, no name. No name in that line. Here. Oh, me. The first name I see is Valak. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna be able to find a Valak. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find a Valak. No, it's a subject. Damn it. We're not gonna be able to find Valak. There's Arthur in here. There's Bree in here. Come on. First line I see, Nick. Okay, there has to be a Nick. Could we go Nicholas? I mean, this is my challenge. I could do what I want, I suppose. I'm gonna look to see if I have a Nick, but then if I don't, I'm gonna go Nicholas, because Nick is a nickname for Nicholas. That totally works. Okay, which is, because it's specifically for a author, right? Yeah, an author who shares that name. So we're going Nicholas, and we'll go ahead and go Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. Got that. And now for this one, I must find another title with the same number of letters. Okay, Bloody Rose has how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 letters long. Something that has 10 letters. So this is Ever After is way too long. Winter Lost? 9, 10. Okay, Winter Lost by Patricia Briggs. Have not read it. This is the newest one that just came out. So thank God this is not the pick to read. Okay, find a book with a similar cover. This is kind of like the color cover we did. So let's break down this cover together, shall we? So we have a chick on the cover. We have a very blue theme. We have some like icicles. There's an instrument going on. Bit spooky with his like face down here. And the author's name up top. Color splash, very muted tones, blue, woman on the cover. There's definitely gotta be one. If I really want to like cheese this, I can choose another Patricia Briggs book. But where's the fun in that? We're gonna try to find something different. So give me a second to look around and I'll come back with what I found. Well, definitely The Wolf and Orin Yarrow. Oh, but isn't book 2 the same color? It's not that. So our original cover was Winter Lost by Patricia Briggs, and the cover I found is kind of similar is What Big Teeth by Rose Zabo. Color combination wise, they're not the same, but like compositional wise, they are. We got these muted tones with the kind of main female figure kind of taking up the big space. We have the name quite big and bold. I'm gonna go with this. It was a very generic like formula, so there's a lot that could fit with this, but I tried to find something. So I believe this is the last book that's going to lead us to the book we're actually going to read. So now I need a time to get this book to lead me to something on my 24 for 2024 challenge. Let's see if we can actually do it. Flip to a random page, point out a word, and find that word in the book title on your TBR shelf. Okay, don't let me down. What Big Teeth? Don't let me down. You're also on my TBR, so. Okay, random word on this page will go right here. Wondered. Wondered? Do I have anything to do wondered? I don't think so. Let me go check a little closer. Wondered anything wonderful? I have waters. No shot. Okay, new page, new word, hopefully. Okay, let's go this word. I have and. Let's not count and. And would be too easy. And I could do a million things with. We're gonna be at this one a while, aren't we? Understood. Familiar. Someone. She. Shadows. I do have a shadow. I have a shadow. Oh, I have 2 shadows. Oh no. Now I have choice. I was too excited. I have 2 things with shadow, and honestly, they both scare me. The 2 books I have are The Shadows of What Was Lost and The Shadow of the God. Both massive books. Honestly, Shadow of the Gods is a lot slimmer than The Shadow of What Was Lost. I've been so afraid of these books. I'm as afraid of these books as I was Assassin's Apprentice, though I did really like Assassin's Apprentice. So there's a chance I might really like these. I will say that one of them is significantly shorter. Let me double check that before I commit to that statement, because books are deceptive these days. Thick ass books. So this is 700 pages, just damn near about. And this one is significantly shorter, okay. This one's 485 for my sanity, because I do have things going on this week. So we're going to go with The Shadow of God by John Gwynne. So this is the book I need to read by the end of this vlog, and I'm gonna take you along with me to see what are my thoughts and just how intimidated I'm going to be to starting this behemoth of a book and a behemoth of an author low-key been avoiding for a long time. I will catch you when I've started this book and share my thoughts. Sorry if you can hear the AC, because say it with me, we're in a heat wave and I'm over it. I'm so tired of being hot in my house, running my electricity bill up, because I would like to live in comfort. That's neither here nor there. We are here for an update on The Shadow of Gods. So when I last left you off, I think I just picked this book, and it's been a minute, a certifiable minute since I actually started this vlog, because I got swept up in the week. I had my best friend's wedding, which was beautiful, and I'm so happy for him. And I was just doing things, and I have a fic I'm writing, and just like life got in the way, and this book did not become a priority, which you can tell because I'm barely into this bitch. I'm 21 pages in. I am 3 chapters in. And I have to say, starting this book, I was a little wary that I wasn't going to like it, because it does that thing where it just like drops you into the world and like figure it out, which when I picked this book up, I was not in the mindset for, I'll be honest. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to DNF another one of these books. But the more I read and the more I kind of like calm myself down and try to like fix my mood, the more interested I was. I've only been introduced to 2 of the 3 main characters, which was Okra. Hello, editor Emily here. I continuously mess up her name. It is not Okra, it is Orca. I have no excuse. So I'm going to mess up the name for a bit, but I promise I do actually get it right. And Varg. This is a book that is mainly with badass female leads, which I'm so thankful for. And we have 1 male lead who is like, I guess slowly gonna become a badass in his own right. But we are following Okra, who is a huntress. She starts the book, so we meet up with her husband, and her son as they're out taking their son on his first hunting trip. And then the deer that they're hunting gets scared by a wounded wolf. And as they go to track where that wolf came from, they find their friend and his wife completely like gutted, killed, tortured type of thing, and their son missing. So that's the first plot line we're given. The second plot line is with Varg, who is I guess like some sort of like slave, and he has escaped his masters, and he is trying to find a sorceress to do something. He gets word of this sorceress who's attached to like a mercenary company that has just rolled into town. To get access to that sorceress, he's gonna have to like fight this like huge beefy dude and hopefully fight his way into a membership role for this mercenary company. That's where I left off on him. So I'm really just starting this book, so I can't tell you too much of what's going on. The third character who I haven't met is a name I don't know, but they are described on the back of the book as a noble woman pursuing battle fame. So I'm guessing some sort of like knight situation. I'm looking forward to it. I love a good badass female lead, and the fact that I get 2 of them is really good, because I'm not a fan of multi-POV, and this is like a constant POV shift, but every character I've met so far has sounded really interesting, so I'm hoping that keeps. And I'm not finding the writing too dry or anything like that. So this week I'm really cracking down and diving into this book and bringing you along on the journey. Also, before I forget, like, let me bring you along on an updated bathroom thing, because I have been doing that in my vlogs. If you don't know, this is the first vlog, first off, hi. Great vlog to join in, I guess. But I've been renovating my bathroom, and well, oh, you can see from how bright it is that there's been progress made. So I think last time I insert like a clip of it here of like what it looked like, and it was a certifiable mess. There was no walls. We have walls, baby. Let me turn you around. So we have walls. And as you can see, my job of the week has been mudding to kind of blend the seams of those walls. So that is what I've been up to. Hence another reason why I have not been reading this book, because not only was I busy, I was trying to do drywall mudding, which is not hard, but tedious because you have to get it even. That's the obligatory bathroom update. Now I'm going to sit and eat my lunch, and then I will catch you in another update. Hello. It is entirely a lot longer since I last updated you. I think it's been like a couple days, if I'm honest. I'm just reading this book so slowly. I don't know what, that's a lie. I know exactly what it is that is keeping me from like really tearing through this book, and that One, it's a fantasy book and a high fantasy book at that. So like these books take a while to kind of get going. They got a world to build. They got a shit ton of characters to introduce you. They got magics most of the time. And I know that going into fantasy books. And I especially know that going into adult fantasy books. So I'm trying to be as patient as I can be. But the second thing that's kind of slowing me down is the fact that this is a multi-POV book, which I've stated many a time, it's not my favorite thing. I don't quite enjoy it. It wasn't until I was rereading Era Fire that I realized what drives me crazy about so many multi-POV books, and that book does really well, is that books that have multiple perspectives are constantly switching at the worst possible time. Like when I just get the momentum to be like interested in what is going on with a certain character, I lose that character and then I'm not back there until way later, and then I've kind of like lost the momentum of like what they're doing. And I don't always find each and every character exciting. Mr. John Gwynn is doing it in this book. Every chapter, regardless of what is going on, we are switching to a new character. And that has killed my momentum so many times. Because I'm like, wait, no, I want to go back and figure out what that character is doing. But then I won't necessarily get them in the next chapter. I will get them 2 chapters from then. And I have to remember like, okay, wait, what was going on with that character again? I'm having to remember all these different plot lines and all these different characters. Oh my God. There's so many characters. There's so many characters. There's so many names in here. And names in a language I don't speak. With my brain is just like how to pronounce it to begin with, but then having to remember like, okay, who is this? Where are we in this world? What is going on with this specific set of characters? What is that plot line? It's a little bit overload. And I think that's just made me go through it so much slower, especially because I finally met my third character, Elvar. Her section has been filled with a lot of action that I've just like had a hard time following along with. And I haven't really been interested in her story. So not only am I getting these like high tense action scenes that are interrupting the stories I'm more interested in, but I don't care. I haven't had a chance to connect with Elvenar, especially since she doesn't show up until chapter 5. So I've had at least 2 chapters with each of the prior characters to like get to know them a little bit more, until I get invested in like what is going on in their storylines. Or Elvar just is kind of boring and kind of out of place in my opinion, at least of where the story is going. All that to say is this book's going to take me forever to finish. I'm going with my rule that I do for the 24 for 2024 challenge, in that I am not allowed to DNF a book until it is 50%, at least 50% through. So I have to really give this book a shot before I say done and dusted. I don't know if this is going to end in a DNF route, because the other characters that I'm really vibing with, I am very interested in their storylines and I like want to know what's going on. We tend to flip between those 2 characters more than Elvar, so that's kind of keeping my interest. I'm being overloaded with information, and so it is very, very slow going for me. I am now 106 pages in, which means I'm on chapter 12. This is a long book. This is almost 500 pages. It's 400 something, 484. I have quite a ways to go. That is for certain, but I will get through it, or at least get to the halfway point. I think I'm gonna have to implement a like certain page number for reading this book, in that I have to like, okay, read 50 pages a day. That's the easiest way for me to like get through a book if I'm like struggling through it in any sort of way. And I definitely think that the storylines are picking up. So I think I'm going to be gravitating to this book a little bit more, but having to slog through the fantasy 100 pages, the fantasy setup, and the multiple character setup has definitely made me want to avoid this book more than pick it up. But I'm curious to see if that's going to change once we get past that like initial hump. It's looking like we're moving towards that, because I guess a major problem in Okra's storyline and a new kind of like training arc found family thing in Varg's storyline. And then Elvar is with her, like, I don't know exactly what I would call them, like a warrior party who I guess travel, maybe bounty hunters, because they were like hunting down the bounty of this one dude. Her sections have been like finding this guy in a village, capturing him, and then they're bringing him back somewhere. That's all I've really gleaned from Elvar's part. So we'll see how that kind of like picks up in any way. Like I said, now it's starting to pick up. I'm a little more interested. I want to pick it up more. I remember the last reading session to be really fun. That's my update. I will catch you in the next one. distracting me. Ugh. Hello, it is time. It is currently Tuesday, July 30th, and I could firmly say I'm not gonna DNF this book because the last time I was reading it, oh my god, I was hooked, I was interested, I was knee deep into Okra's story, okay? I was knee deep in it, and the only thing that still pisses me off is that it switches point of view right when I don't want it to. I hate it. I never understood why I was such a big multi-POV person, like hater, but now I get it because this pisses me off. Like Okra's going through like this really like heavy and like intense moment, and then it cuts for the end of the chapter. You're like, oh my god. And you turn the chapter and it's another character and you're like, what's going on? Like, I don't remember anything of what the other character was dealing with. They could be like having porridge and chilling in their bed, and then it's just such a tonal shift and a pacing shift that it's like abrupt and kind of annoying because it makes me want to skip over them. The people we're kind of like oscillating between is Varg and Orca, and I'm most interested in their stories. Those are the ones I want to be like going between. But I wish we just didn't switch every single chapter. I wish we got to follow a character through these really tense moments without kind of like losing that momentum, because even though I love Varg, I don't give a fuck what he's doing right now. I want to know what's going on with Orca and like where her tension's going and where that scene's going. It's annoying, but I am now super duper invested, which is funny because I think we started with Orca and I was not feeling it. She has a very slow start in terms of her section, but I'm here for it now. Like that's the one I'm like reading for the most. I'm at page 160. So we're actually in Varg's territory right now, which is fine because he's having an interesting moment as well because he's really entering his training arc as he's getting closer to the Bloodsworn. But Orca's story is definitely the one on top. And then Elvar, so I don't like. Honestly, if Elvar was popping up in between some of like these high tension scenes with Orca, I might have skipped her section. I'm not even a little bit sorry about it. But luckily, that's not the case. I'm gonna read a little bit more of this. I think I'm gonna finish the YouTube video I have on, and then I'm gonna sit and read this for maybe like an hour, because I have some other things I gotta do today. That's gotta take priority. I'm definitely very excited to see where it goes. It is like 3 hours later, and as you can see, it's hot and I'm oily. But I am now officially 50% through this book. I have hit the official point where I could DNF this book if I so chose. And I'm not going to. Finally, every character's story has picked up in some way, where it's now really, really interesting to see what's kind of happening with them. So we have a more adventurous plotline for Orca, who is going on kind of a revenge mission. We have Varg, who's really getting to know more and more of the crew he has found himself joining. He's kind of fitting in a bit more, but we're also kind of being pulled along on this mission. And then Elvar finally gets something interesting, where we're seeing her like confront her past and find out like why is she on this kind of mercenary crew. She's being tempted by her past to kind of go back. Things, you know, are not quite what they seem. So everyone has an interesting storyline. I will say John Gwyn's decision to have Elvar's stories so sparsely and to not even introduce her until chapter 5, where we've had multiple chapters with the other characters before we even get Elvar's first chapter, is a weird decision, especially for a book where we're constantly switching point of view and where it's not until we're halfway through the book that the third and final character really gets their story going, whereas the other twos are like kind of winding down. It's a weird decision. I think it would have been better if they all started gripping you at the same time, because it wouldn't have made Elvar's parts so much of a slog. So I'm not happy about that. I'm still really enjoying it. This is not the most amazing thing I've read. I'm not blown away in any aspect, but I am now more intrigued, which thank God it only took 246 pages for that to happen. So it is what it is, I guess. But I think I'm done reading for the day, mainly because I'm hot and I want to take a shower. I'm going to watch more Interview with a Vampire as I eat my dinner. Because I've earned a rest. I feel like I've been doing things for so many different like tiny little tasks that like I just want to not and turn my brain off and enjoy some vampires killing humans and being very homoerotic with each other. So I'm gonna do that. I will catch you when I'm next reading this book. Hi, Kira. Hi, Kira, dear. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hello. It is Saturday around like 7:30, but I have a quick little update for you. So I am now 355 pages into this book. So I am so close to being done. I think I have another 120 so pages left, which is not bad. I would read more tonight, but I'm just kind of tired and don't have the mental capacity to focus on everything. So what has happened in the last time I updated you? I don't even remember. A lot of stuff's happened in terms of just like the story itself. I'm still interested, but I definitely feel like the last few sections have been just kind of slower in terms of like what is going on. It's just picked up in like the last maybe couple chapters per each character. I did have a revelation while I was reading this section of chapters because I was like, man, this is reminding me of something and I don't know what. But it's not something I like enjoy because I wouldn't say I'm loving this book. I've found things interesting, but overall I've like kind of been bored. But then I was sitting there and I was like, you know what this reminds me of? Elden Ring. This reminds me of Elden Ring, kind of like Dark Souls in general, any FromSoft game. That's what it reminds me of. And then that's when it all clicked of, oh, this is why I don't like it. Because I don't care for FromSoft games. I don't care for their storytelling. I don't care for how they do storytelling. I'm just uninterested in it. And this book feels like Elden Ring, which is why I think a lot of people would like this. I just don't think it's the right series for me. I will probably finish this book, or I am gonna finish this book. I'm past the point of where I would DNF. I'm too invested in seeing what's going on. But I don't actually know if I will continue reading the rest of the series. I think I'll finish this up in the next few days. Probably, let's shoot for Wednesday. And so I have plenty of time to edit this vlog and get it out to you guys. That's it for me. I'll catch you later. Hello. It is Tuesday at 2:30. It's August 6th. So we've been doing this vlog for like a month, but I am happy to say I am almost there. Look at that. Look how close I am. I have 40 pages until I'm done with this thing. I'm so excited to be over with this book. I'm so excited to be done with this. I have 40 pages, which I'm going to do right now. I am so tired. Okay, I just got done painting my bathroom, which I guess let me give you an update. Let's give you an update, shall we? Why not? We've been like working with this all along. Where are my slippers? Let's go ahead and bring you to one final update for this vlog, and it's actually pretty damn close to being done. So look at that. Look at her! Don't mind the red. The red is for waterproofing, so that's going behind tile. We put up this board. I brought plate switches. There's gonna be another piece of trim right here. I'm so close to being done with this stupid bathroom. In fact, I'm tiling this weekend. So that means I will have another toilet in the house, which is so nice because because my roommate is going to be home this weekend, so I would like to have a second bathroom. None of that has anything to do with the actual kind of update. So I don't remember where I left you off on. I think I was complaining as per usual with this book. I maintain what I said in my last update. I do not know why we need all three of their perspectives in this book. I think the series might have worked better if we split the books up per the person. We'll have one book that's Orca, one book that's Varg, one book that's Elvar, bridge them all together because we see that they're all kind of like centering around this queen who's up to no good, but I don't know if they're connected in a way that I need to be reading them all in the same book. I feel like if we focused on one character, I would have enjoyed that a lot more. I think I would have been able to immerse myself into that story without being interrupted constantly by another story and having to like remember where I'm at, remember what's going on, rebuild the momentum of the scene. I'm not enjoying that. I'm really not enjoying that from this. I'll wait till I finish this book to give my final thought. I don't know if I'm gonna continue on with the series, or I don't know if I'm gonna do it anytime soon. I may pick it up, I may not. Let's finish these 40 pages, because who knows, maybe something amazing happens and I'm gonna eat my words. So I will catch you when I am done with this book and we can wrap up this vlog. Hello, it is the next day and I am happy to say I did in fact finish The Shadow of God. Thank God. It is done. I have finished this book, all 477 pages of it. It is done. I finished it. I don't have to read it anymore. I will say the ending has me intrigued. Not intrigued enough like I need to go buy the second book right this second. Intrigued enough that I will consider reading the other book, but it's not anything I'm going to like reach for anytime soon. I think the next book has more potential because our worlds are finally colliding. So at the end of this book, we finally have Orca and Varg's groups kind of coming together. So hopefully that's a little bit more nuanced and we're not getting any more characters. God, do not give me any more characters. There are so many characters in this book. Not only are there 3 point of views and like 3 characters you have to like keep track of and like their individual storylines, but each of them have their own like cast of people with them. Particularly when we're with Elvenar and Varg, who are both in these like mercenary parties, and you have to remember all their members and what they're kind of like about. A lot. There's a lot going on in this book. But I can see why a lot of people are drawn to this. Really and truly. I see elements that that I really enjoyed, that I was really interested in. I think what has turned me off on this book most is just the construction of it. It can be done well. I've read books that have really kept me interested in every character, that have given me like a good transition between these different perspectives. Like the Vagrant God series is a really good example of a multi-POV high fantasy world that has a slower build but still keeps you really interested in everyone's story. We have the Throne of Glass, who starts getting multi-POV in the later books. But this one just felt kind of janky. It was so abrupt when we were moving and I would be losing momentum when I really shouldn't be, and it was just annoying. The story itself is interesting. Now that we finally got going, that's another thing with this book. This one had a very slow build-up, and because we're like constantly switching between characters, it takes even longer for the story to get going. Once it hits its stride, it's pretty okay, and it relatively keeps it. There's lulls in some moments, but I hated switching so as often as I had to. So what am I gonna rate this overall? I've been back and forth about this because the story and world are really interesting. I want to learn more about what's going on. I want to see my characters thrive and like get their revenge and get all their accomplishments. Like, I'm very invested in their own individual journeys. But to get to that point took a lot of work and effort that I don't think I could rate this anything really high. But I don't know if I would call this like a 1 or 2 star. My criteria for like 1 or 2 stars is like, I'm not enjoying myself at all, which is not the case for this. Like, as much as I complained about this book as I was reading it, I did enjoy the story, and I did enjoy kind of facing a fear I had with this book. And even though some of my fears were proven right, a lot of them weren't. I can see why this is a very popular series and why so many people like gravitate towards it. So I think the final rate I'm gonna give this book is a 3.5 stars because I want to know more. And for all the frustrations I had for it wrapped itself up in a way that is still making me want to know what's going on. And it's like making me gravitate to the next book. Even though I had told so many people as I was reading, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get to know the series. I think I'm just gonna finish this book and be done with it. But now I want to know what else is gonna happen, which is great storytelling. I will give the sequel a shot, especially because it's only a trilogy and the third and final book's coming out in October, I think. Now, will I read it in time for that book to come out? Probably not. I don't own it, and I'm on a sort of book buying ban. But if I, for some reason, do go book shopping and do pick it up, I will try to read it before the third one comes out. That was all of my thoughts and reactions to The Shadow of Gods by John Gwynne. Another 24 for 2024 book finally done and dusted. All right, but that is the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed seeing my reactions and that I didn't annoy you too much with my complaints about the book, but I feel like they're a bit valid. Reading's a personal experience. Some things you're gonna like, some things you're not, and sometimes it's just nice to vent. And I hope that you think this is a safe space for you to vent. So if you got a book that you're reading that you hate or that you're like frustrated with, go ahead and tell me about it down in the comments. I will let you vent to your fullest extent. Tell me what books you are driven mad by, even though you want to know what's going on. But that's it for me. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!